So, you like playing board games?
Exacting.
Welcome on the YouTube channel Exacting Games. Today we discuss tactical thoughts concerning the game Urbino. So which way is the best to start a game? Where do you put your buildings? Into the corners or on an edge field? Better not, because there you can be blocked by the opponent. And also in the corners you can be blocked easily, like shown here with the white pieces. The brown block can't expand. On the other hand, if you put at the beginning of the game your pieces into the middle, you can expand easily, even if your opponent blocks you on one side. But where do you put your buildings on the board during the game? In this example, we have two districts. On one hand, you have to make your own block bigger, like shown here. This is even more true when your opponent has less points in his or her block than you. On the other hand, you have to prevent the opponent to expand his or her block. So one possibility to achieve that would be to place a house, a palace or a tower on this space. So why is that? Because the rules demand that each district may consist of no more than 2 blocks. This tower or another building of the brown player isn't allowed on this space. So maybe you ask yourself when and how to form a district. We want to show you that with this example. In this situation, there are no districts yet. In this situation, it would be a possibility for player white to move the architect and to place a building on this space. A district is formed. But wait, maybe there's a better possibility. For example, to move the architect this way and put a building on that square. Because this group of buildings is worth less points than the other. That's why player white is leading the game with this move. But there's still the risk that the brown player connects his 2 groups of buildings. To prevent that, the white player can simply put a building on that space. The brown player isn't allowed anymore to connect the 2 building groups. Now we showed you how and when to form a district. In this example, we want to explain that it is sometimes better not to form a district with 1 building or a building group. So a possible move for the white player would be to place a building on that space. But that way the brown player can counter with another building. He or she just has to move the architect and bam, there is it. So a better possibility for the white player would be to move the house on this square. By not forming a district, the palace of the brown player stands alone and can't earn any points. In the next example, we want to show you how to prevent the opponent from forming special buildings. In this situation, the brown player is threatening with a cathedral. Sorry, player white, just 1 block per district is allowed. But how can we prevent the cathedral? Easy, with a white tower. On that square. Because a rule demands that it is not allowed to put a tower next to a tower, nor a palace next to a palace. This tactic also works to prevent a ducal palace. Last but not least, we want to suggest that it can be a game-winning move to end the game early. The block of the brown player is worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points are the white player's block worth. Would the game end at this moment, the white player would be the winner. So why not moving the architect to this space? Placing a building at that space, and now the brown player can't make a move. Because 1 architect is always trapped between the buildings. It's white player's turn and he places a building on that space. Now again the brown player has to skip a move. White moves the architect and places a building on that space. White is the winner of the game.
Exacting.